a much more comfortable height for me now. You know, here, than being up here like an 8. Hi everybody, today I'm gonna swap out the handlebars on my Apollo Ghost. I'm a big time vintage mountain bike guy. Right above the Ghost right now is a Santa Cruz Blur. It's about a 20-year-old mountain bike, but it still rides really awesome. Vintage mountain bikes are a great way to prevent putting new bikes into the landfill. Not to get too off topic, but I have this vintage carbon fiber handlebar. And typically when you have a carbon fiber handlebar this old, you don't want to put it on a bike because you don't know how well it's going to hold up. Cosmetically, this handlebar is okay. There's some scratches, but it doesn't look like there's any damage on the weaves of the carbon fiber itself. So I think I'm okay to use it. And I was thinking, the stresses put on a handlebar on a scooter are far less than the stresses put on a mountain bike, just because you're not actually putting a whole lot of weight, you're just using it to steer, unlike a bike. The reason why I'm wanting to swap out the handlebars is because of this funky guy. Now it's fully functional, but anyways, you have a short, cheap mountain bike stem here, and you got a piece that extends out. And this is intended so that you can fold the handlebars. And when you put it in the trunk of your car, it sits more flat, right? Because the handlebars aren't sticking out. But then I was thinking about it. I don't think I really care for that feature. But I'm gonna see if I can make this goofy looking handlebar look a little bit cooler with the vintage carbon fiber bar. Now I'm gonna go over how to remove the bar. I was kind of looking at all the pieces around here, and everything's held on by Allen wrenches. I don't even need a screwdriver, I don't think. Let me see. I do need a screwdriver for the bell. But first thing I'm gonna do is probably take the grips off. So I just have a set of these Allen wrenches. I've had these for like, I don't know how long. But I've been using them since I was a kid. I think I bought them at Ace Hardware when I was a little kid. Okay, so there's an Allen wrench for the grips. And the bike grips come off real easy. That was real easy, right? I like that. Because sometimes people have press fit bike grips, and those are kind of a pain in the ass to get out because you got to get like either an air compressor can or soapy water and all that stuff. But these came out real easy. So let's do the other side. I'm just undoing this little Allen bolt here, and that's it. Just slides out real easy, right? So thank you, Apollo, because that's a really easy process. Next one here for the brake levers, I got to size up. And I just gave it half a turn and it was more than enough to loosen up. I'm gonna have to create a little bit more clearance there, so I'll work on that in a sec. And let's see here, how is this guy held together? There, but again, this is another Allen wrench. Does this one fit? No, it's a little smaller. That guy was a little bit tight. But again, real easy. Let me do the other side while I'm at it. Let's get the brake lever right here. Again, you don't have to turn it a whole lot. I just turned it like maybe 3/4 of a turn to get it a little bit loosened. And then this guy, the control panel here, again, there's 2 Allen bolts right here. Let's see if this one fits. No, gotta size one up. Just holding it on. I think so. Here we go. This one's gonna take a couple turns to get loose, but again, it's another Allen wrench. This guy. She threw a raspberry at you? Okay. Tell her she's not allowed to do that. My kids are hilarious. She threw a raspberry at me. Yeah, whatever. We're staying home today because my daughter threw up, but she's doing okay. But because we're staying home, I made her do a bunch of math and she got mad at me. Okay, let me get a screwdriver for the bell. I think that's the only thing that requires a screwdriver. Everything else is just loosened up with Allen wrenches. So there's a screw back here. I'm just using a Phillips screwdriver here. Give it a couple turns. And then, I think it might be easier if let me see if that helps to get it off. Yeah. So what I did is to create a little more slack, I bent the handlebar down, and then I pulled the components off. I'm gonna do the same on this side. I'm gonna just go ahead and bend it down. I could have taken it off of the stem first too, and that would have done the same thing. But I didn't. I don't think it matters. Now, I've been working on bikes for probably 25 years, so none of this is really foreign to me. All I have to do is now take off the stem bolts and replace the handlebar. To remove the handlebar, all I did was remove these 4 Allen bolts holding the face of the stem. And that's it. I just popped it right off. And by looking at it, I can see it's a 25.4 millimeter handlebar, so just keep that in mind. Handlebars come in 25.4 or 31.8 typically, and this is definitely a 25.4 millimeter bar. I could eyeball it. All right, one thing to keep in mind before I put the stem face back on, I'm gonna put all the components back on. Otherwise, I probably won't be able to put these things back on. All right, so I've kind of loosely arranged how everything should be back into the cockpit. One thing I've realized is that this wiring is now too long for the handlebar because the handlebar is not raised up like the previous stock one. But I don't know. I might go back to stock someday, so I'll probably leave this as is and not try to tuck in the wiring. I think what I could do in the future is take off this zip tie and then push all the wiring down, further down. I might have to undo some of this and then find a way to better tuck it in. So I think if I really wanted to be complete, I would just get like a slight rise on the stem and get a stem that's like up here. But for today, I'm just gonna mount it back. I have some extra bike stems in the garage. Maybe I'll switch bike stems to put a nicer stem on it than this like $3 stem that this scooter comes with. It's a really cheap stem. But again, I don't think the stems and handlebars on these scooters take a beating like they would on a real mountain bike. So I don't think it matters. I'm sure it'll hold just fine. That's like one of the things that I realized when I started riding the scooter, like the weight balance is totally different, right? Because a lot of the weight bearing is on your legs onto the board, onto the bottom of the scooter. And I just wasn't quite used to that yet. All right, so I'm gonna be like right around here. Get the bar turned around. I'm still working on it, dude. You wanna see what I'm doing? Cool. I'm changing the handlebars on this scooter. Do you think it looks cool?
Yep.
You like this handlebar better?
Than?
The original one. The original one was the black one that folds. Do you remember that?
Yep. But this one doesn't, right?
This one does not fold, no. But does it look cooler to you?
Yeah.
You see the weave pattern?
Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
It's called carbon fiber. It's actually made out of carbon fibers.
Well, everything's made of carbon.
A lot of things are. But it's not like an aluminum. This one's made out of carbon fiber, so it's a little bit different. Okay, and because this is a carbon fiber bar, I'm not gonna over torque it. I don't wanna go too hard, of course. I just wanna tighten up. And again, this is a 25.4 millimeter clamp, so if you're looking to change the handlebar on your Apollo Ghost, get a 25.4 handlebar. If you get a riser bar, this should fit perfectly with the stock wiring because a riser bar will probably, if it gets you up here, then this wiring, this extra wiring you see here on mine, it won't be ugly like this on yours. Tuck that in a little bit if I can. But that doesn't look terrible. Slide my grip back on, right? Oh, what's funny is the end on this grip is made for an aluminum bar. This carbon fiber bar is extremely thick in the middle, so the end doesn't fit. That's pretty funny. So I'll just leave the end off. Yeah, this old school carbon fiber bar is super thick. Just leave that off. Man, you guys are all curious about what Daddy's doing, huh?
Nope.
Okay, so I got this. right here. Alright guys, get out of here. Rex, put the cat back. You guys are banished. Just testing out the angle here. I think that's a pretty good angle for me. Okay. I think that's a pretty good grip angle, so I'm gonna tighten it down. And again, everything is done by Allen wrench except for the bell, which I really appreciate, really easy to work on. So here's my Apollo Ghost with the updated handlebar. I don't know if I should call it updated. This handlebar is like 30 years old. And like I mentioned earlier, this carbon fiber is so thick on this old handlebar that I couldn't fit the plugs back in. So I'm just gonna leave them out. But it's kind of a nice streamlined look for the Apollo Ghost, isn't it? Kind of like that look. But let's see how it rides. I actually like the lower stance of the flat bar. I don't feel like my arms are up here like an ape, so it feels pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep it for a while. To kind of show you how things have changed, the original bar is like this high. So I dropped it down a couple inches, but I got rid of this really ugly, nasty thing. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye.